Hi, brothers and sisters. I have a story about Nimrod, the king who rebelled against the Most High. He was the son of Cush, the grandson of Ham, the great-grandson of Noah. He was known as the mighty one in the earth and a mighty hunter before the Lord. It is implied in Genesis that he either founded Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar, ruled them, or both. Josephus wrote of Nimrod, it was he who excited them to such an affront and contempt of God. Nimrod persuaded the people not to give God any credit, as though it were through him and their own courage that they were happy. He gradually changed the government to a tyrannical one, seeing no other way to turn from the fear of God. Nimrod wanted constant dependence on his power. Sounds familiar. He was said to want to avenge himself on God for sending the flood. He would build a tower high enough to escape it if it happened again, and he would avenge his forefathers and ascend to heaven and wage war against the Most High. Nimrod was allegedly the first king to wear a crown. According to many writings, Nimrod was a giant among men, otherwise known as a Nephilim. The book of Enoch states that a portion of angels in heaven threw off their first estate and went down among men and took their women as wives. Their offspring were giants and a scourge upon the earth. They were idolaters and cannibals. The Bible tells us there were giants in those days and after. Also that in the end times it would be as in the days of Noah. I don't know if I'll see them myself, but I believe giants will be seen again. And already there are many evil giants in our time. I can't prove it, but corporations to me are evil giants. They are eaters of men, just like in Noah's days. Rumors abound even now about real giants in a humanoid form. I suppose time will tell. Nimrod is also rumored to have been one of the founders of Freemasonry, which with all I've read and seen of the Freemasons would make perfect sense. They too try and ascend to heaven in other ways besides through the sun. All of their symbolism points to these beliefs. The Freemasons don't hide what they do. It's all in plain sight and in their writings what their intentions are. Their evil plots find much success in fallow ground. The synagogue of Satan and Freemasonry go hand in hand, if they aren't one and the same, which I believe they are. They have infiltrated, if not started, every country's systems of man. They use lies and deceit, along with man's love of sin, against him in every way possible. Like the Pied Piper Pan himself, it leads men, ever seducing and enchanting, down a dark road and away from our Heavenly Father. Nimrod, it is written, had a prophecy from his astrologers that a man named Abraham would be born, who would put an end to his idolatry. Nimrod ordered the killing of all the newborn babies, but it is said that Abraham's mother escaped to the fields and gave birth secretly. While I realize this coincides with the story of Pharaoh and Moses, it's still an interesting thing to note. In numerous legends, it is said that Nimrod tried to burn Abraham, but he walked out of the fire unscathed. Tales speak of Nimrod's queen Semiramis and the boy Tammuz. Semiramis was called the queen of Babylon, and also the queen of heaven. Conjecture and rumor is that she had an affair, and Nimrod was killed, but the stories aren't exactly clear on how. Semiramis wanted to keep control of Babylon, and she told the people that Nimrod had ascended and become the sun god, and that her son Tammuz was his reincarnation, that she had been impregnated by the sun's rays. She would later marry her son Tammuz. Although there are many versions of the story, it is said that Tammuz was killed by a wild boar, his body in many pieces. Semiramis finds all of his body parts except for his penis. This is the reason why obelisks are built. They are phallic symbols. Many are still standing to this day, like the Washington Monument. We won't be going into the measurements in this video, but the numbers do encode 666, which we all know what that stands for, as many of these so-called builders projects do. It's said that God confused the languages due to the evil of the religion. The religion, evil to its very core, went underground and was hidden. It has remained and integrated itself into every religion and culture of our world. They all can be traced back to Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. They are the gods of Egypt, Rome, and Greece, and are now worshipped by the Catholic Church. Semiramis goes by many names: Inanna, Ishtar, Rhea, Astarte, one or a few of them. Nimrod is also known as Osiris, Ninus, and Baal. I'm not going to tackle Tammuz in this video, as it goes into great depth and is complicated. We'll save that for another day and another story. This is a story meant for entertainment, and while Nimrod is mentioned in the Bible, this rendition and telling is not. Be blessed, my brothers and sisters, and until next time, I love you all.